Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Good day and welcome to another enthralling episode of the Whiteblood Panorama on your favorite channel, Whiteblood Multimedia. I'm your host, Umar Isa Dandagu. Well, my guest today is perceived by many to be an ambassador, but he is not. He has never been one, though his work was or is similar to that of a diplomat. And by his account, he has never even worked for the Nigeria's Foreign Affairs Ministry. Alhaji Alfazazee Abdu was born at the heart of Kano City at an area called Kofar Mazugal in Dala local government. He attended Quranic school and later pursued what is normally referred to as Western education from primary up to the university level, where he studied political science. He would have been a lecturer, but Allah knows why he didn't become one. He later joined the civil service and rose from the state up to the federal level. He later, based on what I know, became Nigeria's trade commissioner in Taiwan, an island disputed by both China and the United States over its own sovereignty. Well, we will get to know more about this in the second episode of the program. But now, what roles did he play in Taipei, which is the capital city of Taiwan, in strengthening bilateral trade relations between the disputed island and our great nation, Nigeria? How did he even get there in the first place? Wasn't there some stiff competition? Well, Trade Commissioner Alfazazee Namairage, it's a huge pleasure and honor to be able to host you on the table now.
Thank you very much.
Well, I hope I've been able to introduce you well.
That's right.
Even though I've not talked about your family, I suppose you have, I think you have 2 wives and some children.
That's
then
right.
I don't know how many.
That's right.
How many children have you got?
The last count, about 13.
13 children.
13 children.
That's
right.
really good, mashallah. And how old is the last born?
The last born is now about 14 years.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, he's almost my mate. He or she is almost my mate.
He is.
Oh, that's great. So, once again, I'm so happy to have you on the show.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, for our viewers out there, the day we are recording this episode, like a week before, last week, let me put it this way, we paid a visit to your house and we had a very lovely and interesting conversation with you for almost what I can remember 1 hour and 30 minutes.
That's right.
Something like that. And we got a souvenir of a book. I've started reading it. So let's dive deeply into the crux of the discussion.
Right.
This program is going to just focus on you and your work, your career, and how you even got to be there as the Nigeria's Trade Commissioner in Taiwan.
That's right.
The first question I'm going to be asking you is, talk us through a little bit about your career. I know when you finished your NYSC service,
That's right.
back then, you were presented with the 2 job offers.
That's right.
One to serve as a lecturer and the other one to serve as an administrator.
That's
So you quickly, because you were confused,
That's right.
you didn't know which one to take.
That's right.
You went to your mentor and your teacher,
That's right.
Professor Emeritus Zaharaddin, the
That's
chief imam of Kano.
That's right.
You went to him asking him for guidance.
That's right.
So after that, after you went to him, what happened? I'm quite interested in this part of your life.
That's right. Well, actually, like I said, at the time we finished the national service, job offers are easy to come by. You get about 3, 4, 5 offers. I got an offer at the teacher training college I served in Lagos, which I reject. And coming back home, I had 2 offers. One from the College of Kano State Science and Arts, which we call CAS now. That's right.
College of Arts and Remedial Studies.
That's right. And one in the civil service.
Good.
And like I told you, I was a bit confused because actually I have no work experience. And my mind, I got the idea to go and consult the then Commissioner of Education, Professor Hassan Zahraddin, who was my lecturer at the Bayer University.
Good.
And on reaching his office and asking for his advice, I mean, he didn't even tell me which is advantageous to be a lecturer. I thought being a lecturer himself, he would recommend that I go for lecturership.
Oh, good.
For a teaching job. But to my utmost surprise, Professor Hassan Zahraddin picked the biro on his pocket, handed it to me, pulled his drawer, give me a piece of paper, and said, accept the offer as admin officer and take it back to the Civil Service Commission. And that's
done.
That is it. That is it.
So that's how.
That's how actually. And when we submitted the offers, I mean the acceptance, the offer acceptance. The following day, actually, we received posting. My past posting was to the Ministry of Commerce and Cooperatives.
Here in Kano?
Here in Kano.
Good.
Yeah. Ministry of Trade. Ministry of Trade, Commerce and Cooperatives.
Okay.
I can't recall, but I think that was the name.
Okay. But I think now they call it Ministry of Commerce, Industry, and something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
Yeah,
now.
I think it's Trade, Industry, and Cooperatives.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Good.
That was where I first go as admin officer, where I spent about maybe 10 months.
10 months.
And then I get posted subsequently to the Ministry of Health. And from the Ministry of Health to Office of the Head of the Civil Service. And from the Head of Service, after maybe a year or two, I got posted to the Ministry of Works. And from the Ministry of Works, I received my first posting outside Kano.
Wow.
Yeah, where I was posted to the Kano State Liaison Office in Lagos.
Okay, good.
As the liaison officer. I was posted back to the Kano State Agency for Mass Education.
Good.
From the Agency for Mass Education, I got a British Council scholarship to study master's degree in the University of Birmingham.
Wow.
Yeah, University of Ashton in Birmingham.
Good.
Yeah, actually. And I spent a year there. After my master's, I came back, and the Office of the Head of Service then also posted me to the Health Services Management Board.
Good. In Kano?
In Kano.
Good.
I didn't spend much time in the health services when I received another posting, sudden posting to the Kaduna Liaison Office.
Good.
Kano has 2 liaison offices.
One in Lagos,
and
the other one in Kaduna. Good.
Exactly. So I served both. I was in Lagos and I was in the Kaduna liaison office.
Briefly, before we move on, what was your role, or what were your roles as a liaison officer, both in Lagos and Kaduna?
Actually, the liaison officer, I don't know, like you started this interview, God has a way of guiding your life. I don't know. The type of work you do in the liaison office is to represent you, particularly the one in Lagos, is to represent your state interests in the federal government. So whenever there is anything concerning Kano, all liaison officers, Sokoto, Kaduna, Rivers, Enugu, Anambra, will be summoned by the appropriate minister, will go to his office and receive instructions. And everybody will now take the instruction back to his state governor, and he will lead the discussion on how the federal policy will be implemented.
Okay.
I think, I don't know, that was maybe the preparatory
stage.
I got maybe before I went to Taiwan.
Wow.
If you are a liaison officer, you are thought of the ambassador of your state in Lagos.
So,
but the one in Kaduna is slightly different. In Kaduna, there are only liaison officers from the northern states.
Okay.
Why? Because Kaduna happened to be the headquarters of northern Nigeria.
Yes, of course.
So when the states were created, the physical assets in Kaduna were shared equally between the first 6 or 7 states created in the north.
Okay.
So the liaison officer is posted to look after those physical assets, mostly houses.
Okay.
Yeah, actually. And secondly, you also host the state governor whenever the governor is in Kaduna to attend the meeting of NNDC.
Okay.
The NNDC is a company created for northern Nigeria, and when the north was divided into states, now the individual governors come to Kaduna to pilot how the NNDC is going to be run. For instance, if there is going to be an appointment for the managing director of NNDC, all the governors have to come. They have to look at the CV of the candidates being considered and then agree on which one. Normally they rotate. If Kano served the MD for 2 or 3 years, the next will be Sokoto or Borno or Yobe or whichever.
So there was power rotation.
There is a power rotation on how the NNDC is run.
Something that in the contemporary politics of Nigeria is called or is referred to as zoning.
That's right. That's right. The most posts in the NNDC are zoned. So each state feels some kind of belonging. I mean, there is no state that is not represented in the NNDC management, top management. Okay. So if the MD is from Kano, you will find the secretary is from maybe Sokoto or from Kaduna, and so on and so forth.
So there was this power sharing.
There is a power sharing because the company belongs to the north. Yeah. So I was both in Lagos and in Kaduna, and these are, I mean, in a nutshell, the role of the liaison officer. You are effectively the representative of your state and look after your state interests, either in Lagos or in Kaduna. But the role in Lagos is much bigger. Okay. Yeah, actually, because I mean,
it's more of a national stuff.
Yeah, actually, and maybe students coming to Lagos to proceed to overseas will be received at my office. I will help the student with visa application and flight arrangements and so on and so forth.
But it sounds like you are working for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, not Ministry of Commerce.
No,
because the arrangements,
you
the roles.
You mean as liaison officer?
Yeah, yes.
You are representing the office of the secretary to the government in Kano.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, it's the cabinet office which is responsible for posting a liaison officer to the Lagos state. Okay. So you answer to the secretary to the government of Kano.
Okay, I understand. Yeah. So now, from Kaduna, how did you? From
Kaduna,
where did you go?
Yeah, from Kaduna, maybe I spent, I don't know, about 6 or 7 months in Kaduna, and then I received another posting as sole administrator to Minjibir local government.
Okay.
I stayed in Minjibir for about 17 months, both as sole administrator, later converted to chairman with councillors.
Okay.
Yeah. We midwife the Babangida administration political program.
Okay.
And we nurtured the two political parties, SDP and NRC.
Yeah.
Actually, we supervise the construction of the secretariat for the two parties, and we also received the first 2 secretaries appointed from the state government before the politician later took over. We supervised the election. I handed over to an elected SDP chairman, and then come back to my role. Maybe I was thinking of going back to Kaduna because that was the promise.
Yes.
When we were appointed sole administrators, we were told categorically that if we finish the sole administratorship, each one of us is going back to his office. So I thought I was going back to Kaduna. But when we come, the morning we were told where to go, I was asked to go back to Lagos, liaison officer, not Kaduna. So I went to Lagos and I stayed there for, and that's the second time.
Yeah, the second time
I'm going.
And that was in 1998 or 7?
That was early 1991.
Okay, 1991.
Yeah,
okay,
early 1991, January, February 1991.
Okay, good.
And around March, April 1991, Kano State decided to split the Health Services Management Board into 6 zones.
Okay.
6 independent health management board, each one headed by a director. I went to Gorzo, set up the Gorzo Zone 4 Health Management Board as the first director. Was supporting staff, and we look after the Gorzo Hospital, Shanono, Bichi, Dawakin Tofa, Kabo, Rogo. I think so, about 8, 9 hospital.
Good.
But as a director, as the zonal director, you have your own budget and you have the power to hire and fire.
Good.
Yeah, actually.
So you are the boss.
You are effectively the boss. You don't have to. You are under the supervision of the commissioner
of health.
The then late Hajia Zahara Sabanonono. May Allah forgive her. Yeah, actually. I mean, but the essence is a zonal director is in charge of his zone for whatever happens. So the commissioner will only ask you if something failed while you are given the money and the men to do the work.
Okay, so let's fast forward to you becoming or joining the Federal Ministry of Commerce.
That's right.
When was it, and how did you end up going abroad?
Going to the actually after. Let me quickly join. After zonal director in Gorzo, I was reposted to the Kano State Pilgrim Board, and that was my last job in Kano.
Oh.
Yeah, actually, that was my last job.
When?
I served as the director of operations, 1992, and we did the 1992 pilgrimage, and that was the end of my service. When I came back, some intrigues in the Pilgrim Commission get me thinking that maybe my days in the Kano State Service were over.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, so I started looking for opportunities to move to the federal, and effectively I went to. We came back from the 1992 pilgrimage in August. We wrote the report between September and November, and I think I got my transfer letter to the federal service in November 1992, and I reported in January.
Good.
Yeah, actually.
So at that time, after that, your days as a civil servant in Kano State were over.
Yeah, actually, I transferred my services from the Kano State Service to the federal service, but as admin officer.
Okay, in Ministry of Commerce?
No, in the office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is the center controlling the admin officers in the federal service. Very
good. So then, how and when did you get the opportunity of working abroad?
Actually, when I joined the federal service, my first posting was to the National Commission for Women. Okay. It was during Babangida. And Mariam Babangida, may Allah forgive her, was running the Better Life program.
Okay.
So actually I joined, and I think there are only 2 directors. Yeah, but all the other departments were run by women.
Wow.
Yeah, actually.
That's cool.
Yeah, actually. We had only 2 directors. The head, the chairman was a lady. The Director General Hajja Aisha, our own Hajja Aisha Ismaila.
Oh, yeah.
Was the Director General, and then there are 8 directors, two male, myself and a friend like Mr. Biam was active.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, but he died 2004 or 5. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, and then the rest are female.
Good.
So, but we hold the operational department. He handled personnel. I handle the finances.
Yes.
Yeah, actually.
So
yeah.
You were pillars.
Yeah. Well, not the pillars, but
without finance, nothing could move.
mean, yeah. Actually, the operational departments are important in the sense that if you are the director of finance, you have to hold the finance in such a way that every director get his budgetary allocation to enable him perform his duties.
That's cool.
It's very important you get somebody who can be fair to all.
To all.
And in recruitment, actually, you also listen to the various departmental directors who they want to hire and help in assessing, interviewing, and making sure they got the right stuff. Yeah. So I spent about 2 years in the National Commission for Women. In fact, I was in the National Commission for Women when it was upgraded during Abacha's time to the Federal Minister of Women Affairs.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, actually, I was there when the commission was upgraded to the status of a ministry, and I work with Mrs. Abacha, and I left the Ministry of Women Affairs, and I was posted to the Ministry of Internal Affairs.
Internal Affairs.
Yeah, actually, but not the main ministry.
Okay.
I went to this national identity. This national identity.
Okay, yes, commission.
Yeah, actually, there is a department for the national identity.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I was posted to the National Identity Directorate as a deputy director.
Oh, good.
Where I stayed until maybe early 1996. 1996, I can't remember. 1997. When I left the Ministry of Internal Affairs because of my work in the National Commission
for women.
For women, yeah, actually, I was identified to go and assist the First Lady. The wife of the president, military head of state, Abdu Salami.
Abdu Salami, yes.
So I work with Fatima Abdu Salami as director of special duties. An incident happened in December. In December of 1998. I'm getting old.
Memories.
Yeah, actually,
no problem.
But I think it was December 1998. The director of special duties was a Christian and was given leave to go and attend Christmas in his state.
That was December.
Yeah, he's from Borno State. Unfortunately, on his way, he had an accident and lost his life. And the First Lady had only about 6 months to vacate the office and hand over to an elected
president,
to the wife of an elected president in May 1999. So the search came back to the office of the head of the Secretary of the Government. Abdu Salami can now not work with somebody who is not familiar with the work.
Okay, yes.
And that's why I was identified. I was enjoying my work in the Ministry of Internal Affairs, frankly speaking, in the national identity. When I was told by the director of personnel I am going to the office of the First Lady, he saw it on my face. Clearly.
You didn't like it. You are not interested in moving.
I know what it is to work with women. It is a hectic job.
Working with women,
it is hectic.
From which side? From their side or from your side, for example?
It is hectic. It is hectic.
So who makes it hectic?
If you are working in a setting where the women are supposed to be in charge, the chairman and the director general are women, and the key directors are women. They thought you are just, you are just not fit
to be there.
To be there.
So they want to be all domineering.
They want all to be domineering. There was an incident when there was a misunderstanding between the chairman and our director general, Mrs. Ismail, and the first lady, Mrs. Babangida, had to intervene.
Oh my God! So it was
so she said everyone, all the directors, all of us had to move into the villa and resolve the issue.
Wow! So
and we went and we discussed all the issues, and at the end of the day, Mrs. Babangida walked behind and said, "That is why I thought there is a role for men in this commission."
Of course. Women alone cannot,
cannot
do it?
She confessed. She said, that's why I insisted there must be two directors, at least two directors to manage, to help. Yeah, because we alone will just quarrel. So what we told her, what I told her, what the director personnel told her was about 65 to 70% of our workload is in resolving
dispute
between
conflicts between the women or between the men and the women.
Sometimes even between a director and her staff.
Yes, a female director,
and a female staff. Somebody who is under you. How do you quarrel?
They don't see eye to eye.
They don't see eye to eye. Maybe the junior staff wear the same wrapper.
Okay.
The director and the director will say, How
dare you do this?
How dare you? I am the director. You wear the same wrapper, which a man, which a male actually
doesn't care about.
Frankly speaking, so, I wear this because of this interview. Otherwise, I always in my public it's okay. Actually, I feel comfortable. So, Ms. Babangida told us to say thank you very much because I asked Ms. Babangida, I say, Ma, please do me a favor. She said, what can I do for you? I say, Ma, please ask the secretary to the government to transfer me from the National Commission for Women to any ministry. I have no choice. Anyone.
So did that happen?
She said, okay, director personnel, what she said, I have the same request, Ma. Okay. Please help us, remove us. You stay put.
That's really interesting.
It's a challenge, but yeah. So from the Ministry of Women Affairs, I moved back to when Obasanjo came.
Yeah, 1999.
Yeah, when Obasanjo came, he said the office of the First Lady is not constitutional. So he is going to close the office, and he will not allow his wife to run an office like it is in the constitution. So actually we received an order to wind up the office, which we did, and I went back to the office of the head of service for posting.
Oh, okay. Briefly, it's already time. We only have like 30 seconds to go. Let me put this question to you. Okay, do you have this opinion that women cannot function well without men by their side or behind them, pushing them?
Practically speaking, from my experience, having worked in the National Commission for Women and Federal Ministry of Women Affairs, there is need for the two to work together.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, you need men to advise and guide, and also maybe resolve issues when
to help.
Yeah, to help.
Okay, because some women have this attitude, a notion that it's kind of unfair to say men are their helpers. Men help them.
I mean, they can say what they want to say, but I mean, from personal experience, I do believe, like Mrs. Babangida said, there is need. If you have a setup of women and you want it to succeed, you better get 1 or 2 directors to work with them.
Well, it's already time, but in the next episode, we will ask you questions about how you got yourself in Taiwan and the places that you visited before moving to Taiwan.
Yes, okay.
So it's going to be really interesting, and that's when we will briefly talk about the China-Taiwan issue. This episode has been dedicated to you.
Thank you.
To talking about your life and your experiences.
Thank you,
and really, the biggest part of this interview is the last part of it, in which you talked about men versus women. You see me smiling. It's kind of amusing.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Ambassador, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Dandago, for calling me. Thank you very much.
You are welcome, sir. So that's the end of the first episode. On behalf of everyone that has contributed to the production, and the big boss, Zainab Abdurrahman May Agogo, I'm Umar Isa Dandago, saying goodbye and see you in the next episode.